Teachers in L.A. on strike day 2, I guess now. And this is aerial footage from yesterday. The superintendent of schools said there was about 3,500 people out there striking. This is other reports say closer to 20 to 30,000. This is a lot of people.
And they're striking for company Bentleys and an
Right,
upgrade to about like 0.5 million a year.
In the cafeteria.
Caviar in the cafeteria, 2-hour workday.
Honeycrisp apples.
These are just there's I think slightly more than 3,500 people there as it stands, and this is
These people are amazing. They're doing this for all of us.
People going out in the rain in Los Angeles is one of those things you rarely see.
People in Los Angeles. Waz has lived in L.A. for maybe just a year now, right? After being a lifelong New Yorker, and I don't know, I think he went to Pennsylvania for a year or something. And a couple of weeks ago, he's on Twitter being like, "It's like Seattle. It's like Seattle." Like it took him less than a year to be a weak L.A. person whining about the rain.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
It goes pretty quickly. I think that ability to deal with the weather. But they continue to strike. Part of the story is not just that there is no dedicated system of funding for things like a nurse in elementary schools or a librarian in middle schools. There's also there's reason for the teachers to believe, based upon the way the moves that have been made by the superintendent of schools, that there's going to be an attempt to continue to privatize, and this is a major problem across the country. There is big money to be made in these privatized schools and for-profit charters. The idea, look, here is the classic. I mean, this is an extremely reliable explanation for most phenomena that we see that involve huge amounts of public money, right? Like we have a huge amount of money that is publicly administered in the Social Security system, right? There's people pay in. There is no lockbox per se, but there is basically a line item that is that, for all intents and purposes, cannot add or diminish the deficit. And Wall Street wants their hands on that money. They call it dumb money. They also want their hands on that money that is collected for schools. Betsy DeVos is on record as saying, "I'm not against public education. I'm against public schools." So in other words, you collect the money in taxes and I will help divert it to private schools. In her case, she really wants the money to end up in parochial schools. But they realize, if some secular schools get the money, that's fine too. That's not going to hurt us. As long as we get enough to fund our madrasas, we'll be okay.
Oh, and I just saw that some defense contractors are getting into the charter school business, so that's fun.
There's a lot of money there. There's a lot of money. It's, private prisons. It's all the same thing. Wherever there is a big pool of money that is going, there's going to be this impetus to privatize it, and it must be obviously these resources must be protected.